Hi, thanks for tuning in to Astro Awani, and you're watching Silhouette. Great Britain has always been the epitome of a fashion nation across the globe. Hence, we welcome the likes of Marks & Spencer and Blue Ink to Malaysia.
It is not at all a surprise that British brands, especially retails, hit big in Malaysia. Since the era of colonization, the English culture has been embedded in the eyes and hearts of Malaysians. Marks & Spencer, a brand that was established in 1958, has come a long way, being the first British label to land on our shores. Since then, it has offered a lot of varieties of clothing, toiletries, and even food, hence the need to serve better with the refurbishment of its biggest store in KLCC.
Customers' needs. That was in our mind when we started to plan for this makeover, I would call it. Basically what we want is we want a store that is inviting, inspiring, and at the same time make things easy, make shopping easy for customers. We actually put in the bakery, or what we call in-store bakery. This in-store bakery is actually our first M&S in-store bakery in Malaysia. And a lot of customers are actually asking for it for a very long time. And on top of that, a new thing that we have in the food hall is also the frozen. Okay, so with the frozen, we introduced a lot of ready-to-cook food. We have ice cream, we have a lot of cheesecakes, and many others. I'm sure the working group will love our frozen products. Yes. There's actually a lot of difference in terms of the way we display our products. And for men's department, we have introduced a new brand called Coolsculpting. Okay, Coolsculpting is all about Italian, everything about Italian. And it's actually a brand that we are really looking into the luxury of details, fabrications. So it's actually targeting for, I would say, successful man, career man, businessman that is 40 years old and above. I think British brands, they are quite renowned in Malaysia. Every Malaysian now have access to all the British brands. Being UK #1 retailers, definitely it gives us a better edge over the others. I strongly believe that Malaysians love our brand. I must say that I'm very proud and very happy that we only received good feedback so far. Everybody loves our new concept, and the feedback that I get, a lot of people thought that we are very traditional British brands, but this time, their thinking is really have changed in a way, because after they see the fashion show, is a wow, oh, this is M&S, wow, So it is good for us. We are actually a fashion brand, and we wanted to be a fashion brand all this while.
Believe it or not, shopping is therapeutic, like a drug. That is why you continuously see the need to have more shopping malls and shopping campaigns in our country. When CNN voted Malaysia as the world's 4th best shopping destination in the world, the shopping campaigns get bigger. The Great British Fashion is the first large-scale joint initiative by the UK and Malaysian governments, which features UK's popular retail brands.
Last year, Tourism Malaysia brought in about 25.03 million tourists, bringing us a revenue of 60.6 billion ringgit, of which 30%, about 17 billion, is actually revenue we got from their spending, and which include shopping. And with that, Tourism Malaysia will continue to organize the 3 main shopping campaigns that we have in Malaysia. Number 1 is the KLGP sale in conjunction with the F1. This is in March. And then in June, July, August, during the mega sale event, and the year-end sale, which is in November and December. We are looking at about 25 brands to come to Malaysia. Now we have got 5.
The retail and fashion industry makes a significant contribution to the country's economy, and shopping holds the second biggest share of tourist expenditure. And this event is being held in support of the commitment of the UK and Malaysia to boost the trades of both countries.
The UK and Malaysia have this target to double trade between our countries from £4 billion to £8 billion by 2016. And we saw the retail sector as an ideal opportunity to support that objective. The UK is supporting the retail sector, and we're keen to encourage more of our retail brands to internationalise. At the same time, Tourism Malaysia have a target to double the size of their retail sector by 2020. We have twin objectives that work well together. Well, in terms of why Malaysia, I've been living in Malaysia for nearly 2 years, and what has really surprised me is that whenever I go out, I always see at least one person, one Malaysian, wearing the Union Jack in some style or form. And talking to the retail brands, everyone is very pro-British. So we've been pushing at an open door in terms of this campaign. So that's why Malaysia was a great location to launch the campaign. And what we're hoping is that what we've put in place, our colleagues in other markets will adopt and take forward in their markets as well.
The Great British Fashion Campaigns also witnessed the launch of 3 British fashion brands in Malaysia, namely Blue Ink, Jane Norman and Accessorize, brought in by Global Retail Ventures that is sure to change the facade of the whole shopping experience.
It's all about providing an option, choices to the consumers. What we do basically as a retailer is we walk the market, we look at what are the brands available in the market. We try to see whether there's any gaps that we can identify and then try to fill in that gap. With Accessorize, for example, this is a huge brand worldwide. We're talking more than 1,200 stores worldwide. It really is huge. And when we look at the market, there really isn't any other brand or any other store which provides this sort of concept where it's everything under one roof, where you can actually get handbags, earrings, jewelry, and everything, and it's all sold, it's all marketed, it's all displayed as a collection, as a theme. So we see a void in the market, and therefore we made the decision to sign on the brand for Accessorize, and it's been doing very well for us. As for Jane Norman, it's the same thing again. What we do is we walk the market and we see again a void in the market for people who like to be what we call Jane Norman is glamorous. Jane Norman is sexy, but not revealing kind of sexy. Jane Norman is confident. So when we walk the market again, we do not see many brands which are able to provide the market with that kind of attitude, with that kind of storylines, that kind of product. So hence we made a decision, of course, to try out Jane Norman, and it's been alright. I mean, we've been quite happy with the response. It's a different target market altogether. And then with Blue Ink, it's the same thing. We walk the market, a lot of young guys, especially now, what we call metrosexuals. Of course, there's this growing breed of men who like to dress up, look very, follow the most on-trend fashion available in the market. And in Blue Ink, we see that it gives an alternative to the market, with the exception of a few brands out there in the market again. So again, we are quite pleased with the response. It's been doing quite well. So plans are underway to, of course, further expand Blue Ink.
A female fashion designer who knows what women want. Next on Muse. We're back on Silhouette from Asmod Kuala Lumpur at the One Academy, the world's first fashion design school from Paris, which is now here in Malaysia. And here it is, Nurita Harith, the fashion designer with an eye for intricacies and details.
I started off in 2006. I was back here from UK. Then I was working with Bill Keith. That was the start. And that's when I had my first chance to do my own fashion show for KL Fashion Week. And then after that, 2007, I was in Project Runaway. After that, I had the first time I managed to do something to do with business, which is we had a chance to open a booth at Isetan under KL Fashion Designers. And then in between that, I was a stylist. So it was also a good experience for me because I get to meet a lot of interesting people. And then 2008 is when I first opened the boutique until now. I've always loved drawing. So, and then when I went to UK for my A-levels, I took fine art and sculpture. So I guess that's when I had my first taste in studying art. And then in my foundation, I took fashion, and then straight away to degree. But for as long as when I was doing my fashion, I loved sculpture. So in a way, when I took sculpture in A-levels, that's when I interpret it in my work, which is why I love draping. So you work with your hands. Yeah. Actually, when you do drape, it depends on how you feel during the day. It's not like very technical. You have to be in the right moment because you're working freely, and sometimes it takes a long time, sometimes it takes a while, so it depends on how it ends up. Most of my clients are around my age, so I would say late 20s, mid 30s. Very stylish, and she loves colours, but she loves nudes. So in a way, she's an all-rounder colour, and she knows how to mix and match her pieces. So basically, because most of my pieces, I sort of break them up so that you as a person that buy the pieces will know how to separate and coordinate with other pieces that is in your wardrobe. I'm a very quiet person and shy. Yeah, I'm a very shy person. I think people sort of misunderstand sometimes when I'm quiet, but basically I'm a very shy person because I've always been one in school. So I think most of my school friends would say the same thing. I've always been the one that would sit with a small group of friends, and and we used to draw little comic books. Yeah. On my normal days, I'm quite casual actually, because if I don't have appointments, I'm very casual because I'm always working at the back. If I have weekends and have events, I do make extra effort. I have face. Currently, I do like a lot of black and pop of color. Sometimes I go through very all white, so I have moments like that. Actually, sort of when I do collection, I make sure that it's able to be worn. So I do love designers that create pieces that is something that you actually want to wear. So I love Christopher Kane, Jonathan Saunders, Roxanne Dylinsik. But in a way, achievement-wise, I love McQueen because I do read up about him. So it's a very interesting story because I do love to hear designer stories that from how they started. So it gives you motivation to push yourself to keep going because it's not an easy journey. I love the 20s because the drop silhouette, the detailing of the fabrics are really, really nice, and they have great headpieces and the whole styling with the wavy hair. So everything is inspired in eras, but they just combine everything wrong. But I would say 20s is a very nice era. I would hopefully want to see that the brand has grown and we have bigger market, and obviously the place. I do plan to move to a bigger place and bigger team, so that would be something that I would love to get into. And then personally, design aesthetic, hopefully I've grown and break into more new things and able to introduce more things to people here in Malaysia. And then, yep.
Later on, it's all about body sculpting on Styclopedia. Thank you for staying with us. And here's a way to say goodbye to those stubborn fat and hello to the body you've always been dreaming of.
In aid and mission to boost self-esteem in overweight individuals, the Beverly Wilshire Medical Center delivered the ultimate body transformation post-massive weight loss with Tiger Matrix, world's first of its kind breast and body lift. Renee Thornton of Australia travelled thousands of miles to regain her self-confidence to achieve the body she's proud of.
As a child, in Australia, for a portion of my childhood, I was brought up by the state. I was always a bigger child, or out of all my group of friends, always the bigger child. When I was 16, I moved out on my own. My weight issues really began then because I was cooking for myself and shopping for myself, and living on your own at that age is very stressful, and I didn't really know a lot about it. So I had my first child when I was 19, and my weight was, I felt like after every child I had, I put on more weight. And I met my husband, and he used to tell me all the time, I love you for what you are, and I don't want you to change. And that made me comfortable and happy, and I ate more. So I just got bigger and bigger and bigger. And my heaviest weight was 170 kilos. 170 in 2004, after trying every diet club that anyone could ever think of. I found on one of a TV program at home, they were advertising or talking about the lap band. I figured that was my last chance. I wasn't sick yet, I didn't have diabetes, I didn't have high blood pressure. Within a week and a half I had the lap band put on, and I lost weight from day one. I got to about 110 kilos, so I'd lost 60 kilos. And I was watching my skin get droopy and everything was just hanging in the wrong direction. I believe that if the Tiger Matrix wasn't there, my wound or my scars may have been wider because of the pulling of me getting up and down. But with the Tiger Matrix, it's like it was holding everything in place, so it wasn't pulling. So I ended up with a scar that looked like somebody had drawn a pencil around me. It was so perfect. I like exercising now because having skin, it was very difficult to exercise. So yeah, I like dressing up now. I get lots of comments at work at how different I am now when I go to work. I'm just proud. I'm proud to be in the body that I'm in.
These multiple breakthroughs in plastic surgery with Tiger Matrix, comprised of safe healing process, improved with revolutionary medical technology.
Our tissues, due to maybe age, external factors, genetic, maybe trauma, so they become damaged or destroyed or become weakened. Right? Now, when that happens, so that will cause imbalance into our body system. For example, with aging and with pregnancy, lactation, for example, the woman, the breast will start sagging, okay, because the tissue quality drops. So the tissue content that hold, the content of tissue that hold the tissue together, let's say the breast up there, now it's gone down, is gone or become much less. So you lose, a lot of this elastin and all these good tissues that actually bind things together in your body. When you have that, then problem will occur like hernia and also bulging of tummy. Then your body is out of shape. and then you can your clothing don't fit and you don't feel good. Self-esteem is low. So you need to repair that. You need to bring back to so-called normal situation or normal level, and that's not easy because you need to stimulate the cells that is there to become stronger. So we have done things like repairing by using sutures, or you have used mesh, which is non-absorbable, meaning that the mesh will stay for the rest of your life in your body. But we found out a lot of problems, a lot of concerns. Like when you have any foreign materials in the body, chances of infection is higher. Chances of it protruding out is higher, and chances of it being rejected totally is also high. So because of that, then they developed this new so-called mesh or new matrix to call it, and this is called Tiger Matrix, TIGR. Now it has been developed so that it is absorbed by your body eventually. It will take about 3 years. So if you put into your body, then in 3 years time it's gone. But what is left behind is a legacy of this, meaning that it will stimulate growth of tissue into this. You can see all these tiny holes. And that stimulation will cause good tissues to go in. These are the tissues that actually bind things together. It strengthens. Let's say you put it on your tummy. For example, in a tummy tuck. Tummy tuck means you have that excess tummy apron after pregnancy, so when you're so obese. So we remove that excess skin and we repair your muscle. So what we do last time, we just stitch the muscle together. We found out the effect is still not as good as you expect, to give that nice tight tummy. So what we'll do is we put the mesh above the muscle. These are we're talking about under the skin there, and we stitch this up and then we close back the skin. Now without you realizing it, without the patient realizing it, your body is acting on it. Okay, so it stays inside there. You just do your normal activities. The new cells will go in there now. So the cells that go in will strengthen that muscle. So same like for your breast. Let's say your breast has sag. So you can put it under the breast tissue there, inside, under the skin, and new tissue will grow in. And that tissue will make sure that the breast will stay there for a good long period of time. Of course, it comes also with risk. Any foreign material, no matter whether they're absorbable or non-absorbable, this is absorbable, I mean your body will absorb it. They will still have higher risk of infection, higher risk of this being rejected, higher risk of this cause problems in terms of the body will incorporate to the wrong place. So that's always happening in any foreign materials. But the good thing, because it's absorbable eventually, that means your body will absorb it eventually, so the chances is lower as compared to the traditional mesh that we have used in the past. So that's the advantage of it. Strengthen the tissue where you want it to be strengthened, which we could not do in the past.
Should Tiger Matrix be too extreme for some, here's a cool way to bust that fatty spots on your body with Celtic Coolsculpting.
Celtic Coolsculpting is a revolutionary method which is used to eliminate unwanted fat bulges from the body, and it is a FDA, a Food and Drug Authority approved procedure which helps to eliminate these unwanted fat bulges in a safe manner, which has no downtime and with very minimal discomfort. So what the technology is involved is uses the cold temperature to kill off the fat cells. So at 5 degrees Celsius, the fat cells will die off, whereas the skin, muscles, nerves are not affected by this cold temperature. So what the person does is we will place this machine, a device, on the unwanted fat areas, and we will freeze off the fats using cooling panels for 1 hour. So in one session, a person can expect up to 23% less fats in that targeted area. Now, Coolsculpting is not a weight loss procedure. Now, after doing the Coolsculpting, your weight might be the same or might just be slightly reduced. But the function of Coolsculpting is we want to target the unwanted fats. So it is actually best used in conjunction with exercise or controlling your food. It is not an alternative to not exercising or not controlling your diet. So if you can combine it with controlling your food, maintaining a healthy lifestyle, you'll get the best results.
Well, that's all the time we have for this week. My name is Iza Islan. Catch Silhouette on Astro Awani for more than just fashion.